But with this situation, I am starting to believe there might be something that science can't explain. 3 days ago, I made that video on Kenneth Copeland, the man whom I believe to be a demon in human skin. He's an
He
outrageously
is.
wealthy, corrupt preacher who uses faith to fuck the piggy banks of all of his followers to take as much.
Yeah, you only need to know like the very nitty-gritty of Kenneth Copeland to know that he is an outrageous moronic human being. He is the worst of the worst. He takes advantage of people's loyalty to him. He is, if anybody's going to visit Lucifer in the afterlife, it's going to be Kenneth Copeland.
Money from them as possible and hoard it all for himself. And on the same day that I posted that video, this peculiar piece of information drops about an unhinged pastor going on a rant defending rapists who assault women for wearing shorts.
Nope, that's
It's
not
just
good.
an interesting coincidence that all broke on the same day that I was covering Kenneth Copeland. It's like that phenomenon, like in Grand Theft Auto, where you see a car you've never seen before, you steal that car, and then all of a sudden you see it everywhere. It's one of those things where I made that video, and it's not like I go out of my way looking for, like, corrupt preachers or anything like that. But then I saw this happening at the same time. And it's just one of those head-scratching moments like, is this a message from the universe?
No, we've had a lot of pastors go cattywampus recently with the pastor who stole like 1.6 million in promising his followers that his like shit coin was the next big thing. So no, we've had a lot of pastors do some pretty messed up stuff recently. So I'm not, and I feel like like with the digital age, it's just gonna keep getting worse because now they're being like they're being broadcasted across the internet. So like anything that was controversially said previously is now gonna be out in the water, whereas it probably would have just stayed behind closed doors like 20 years ago. So
Letting me know that it can always be worse. You know, in the words of Qui-Gon Jinn, there's always a bigger fish.
This is the kind of preaching we need.
is it?
I said, Mama, when we go to Pigeon Forge, to the outlet malls, when you go uptown here,
Goober's out here looking like Kingpin from Into the Spider-Verse. He's got that fucking wide bowling ball build here. His name is Bobby Leonard. And the way he delivers his sermons is a lot like a record constantly skipping a little bit, like he's glitching out constantly. And I have no doubt that's because
He's literally a fossil. He's probably been preaching for 60 years, like three times the amount of time I've been alive. So I'm not surprised.
he's this archaic fossil of a man. And I know that might sound a little harsh, and I'd almost feel bad for insulting this senile geriatric octogenarian, but he's also defending rape. So I really don't feel bad at all. He's a piece of shit.
we'll go sit at the parking lot at the outlet mall, the mall here. I said, you watch it. I said, tell them you'll find more women going to have shorts on.
Yeah, it's such a weird, I don't know, it's such a weird stance to take.
Say it ain't so. Shorts on as a woman? Those
Yeah, by golly, back in the 1850s, all that women wore were frolics. Like, what? Yeah, this guy's definitely stuck in, like, in his... I think this guy has some dementia, I'm not gonna lie.
whores.
I'm getting Sleepy
Those
Joe
harlots.
vibes.
Charlatans. Oh my goodness. Bobby, you're right. What an astute observation. It's so despicable.
By golly.
Shorts as a female? Have some
Have some-
have some shame. Oh, goodness gracious. So Bobby's sitting in the parking lot just looking at women, I guess. Sounding like a real creepy weirdo here, just sitting in his car looking at all the
Well, Charlie, he is a pastor. I mean, God, you can't expect that much from
girls
him.
that go into the mall. Probably got some fucking binoculars out spying on them with hand on his meat. And he's just pointing out to his wife, look at this, can you believe it? There's more girls going in there with shorts than there are girls going in there with dresses and pants. Who could have guessed, huh? Heavens to Betsy.
So I sat there. I just want to be sure, but I sat there some time ago for, I don't know who's out in the, I guess it must have been some of the family. My wife don't go shopping now. And I said,
Oh, good God. Yep, he started speaking in Minecraft enchantment table, so you know that's a great sign for what's to come. Yeah, no, I think this guy's absolutely he has a touch of dementia in there.
in my car,
What the fuck did you just say there, Bobby? It sounded like he casted an ancient spell. If I popped that sentence into Google
Yep.
Translate, it would destroy the service
He's Lucifer incarnate. He's definitely speaking in the ancient backwards tongue.
globally. It'd shut that bitch down because this is incomprehensible. What in the world? He just hit a full-blown scat man in the middle of his sermon. Sounded like Porky Pig.
I thought, I'm going to see if that's right. And I counted. Try that. You'll find more women go in those places with shorts than you will women with pants and dresses put together.
You see, I don't know if he maybe he forgot he already made that point. Like I don't know. He just said that. I'm like I said. I think this guy has some. I don't think he should be in the position he is. Yeah, I just think people are too scared to tell him, hey, Bobby, you probably should step down from your position. You sound like a buffoon. You sound like somebody who cannot string two words together without stumbling and or speaking in enchantment table. So you should probably give the reins to somebody different.
Try it.
Yeah, go ahead, everyone. Try it. Land yourself on the sex offenders registry for being some kind of alarming creep.
Actually, everyone, okay. Everyone at the church, stand up. We're going to the nearest mall, and we're going to be looking at the girls. We're going to be comparing who has skirts, who has dresses, and who has pants on. Right now. Actually, there's a binocular under everyone's seat. Like,
in your car just looking at women's bottom half to count if they're wearing shorts versus dresses or pants. Very normal thing to do for a sane individual, Bobby. Great advice. What a remarkable challenge to issue your followers. He is way too fucking old to be speaking in front of people, by the way. He actually talks as if there's just perpetual...
okay, yeah, that's exactly my point. I don't think... I'm pretty... Like, okay. One thing, if you guys... If anyone's watching this, if you have ever met an individual with dementia, they usually will say things that are fucking out of bounds. My girlfriend, she worked in an old person home, like a retirement home, and they all said the most unhinged shite. Now, I will admit, I live in the South, and so a lot of older people, they're a little racist. So a lot of the times when there would be like a black nurse coming in to a room, they would verbally say that they do not want that particular nurse to work on them because of their skin color. I feel like sometimes they go, like their minds are in like previous states. Like their mind is cattywampus. So clearly, like, it's not all, I don't know. I'm not trying to defend it. However, when you're brought up a certain way, you're like, and then you start going a little senile, a little crazy towards the end. Some of those old like traits that you might have suppressed over the years might start coming out unintentionally, kind of, because you're not totally in your right mind. Like I said, I'm not defending this guy by any means, but I would not be surprised if him being super old and having some form of like dementia is playing a big role into like what he's saying here. But I could be wrong. I'm just saying, like, my girlfriend told me multiple situations where the old people would say wild shit.
Actually peanut butter in his mouth and he's struggling to get through the words so that way he could like enunciate them. It's brutal listening to him blabbermouth like this.
If you got time, try it. Have your boy go up there and try it. Just watch for him. Have your girl go up there and watch for it. And you know...
you just have to know everyone's uncomfortable listening to this.
I haven't said this in a long time. You ready? I said, if you dress like that and you get raped and I'm on the jury, he's going to go free. You don't like, do you?
God, I'm surprised we didn't hear a verbal gasp from the audience. Jeez.
I can't help you like I'm right. Because, a man's a man. A man's a man.
Jiminy Christmas.
Good jeez. That is such a horrible stance to take. Oh my God. Well, if you were wearing shorts, boo-hoo. A man's a man. That means he can take you whenever he wants. What a horrible stance to take. Oh my God. I just know everyone's eyes were dilated listening to that. Holy shit.
Raping's his hobby, Leonard, just saying flat out with his whole chest, if a woman gets raped and
Yeah, I
he's
think
on
he
the
got
jury and
taller
she was
while
wearing
saying it
shorts,
too.
he would let the rapist go free. What an outrageously evil.
He said it like he was getting something off his chest, like like he had been waiting to say that. He'd been holding that in for quite a while.
Individual you are, Bobby. What chapter of the Bible was this in? I don't remember this excerpt anywhere. When I first read these headlines, I thought it was potentially it being interpreted as a pastor defending rapists, but nope. He just outright says it. He's not beating around the bush. He's not trying to hide anything. He's going full mask off, just saying point blank that if he is on the jury.
Yeah, I think he said, "Fuck it. I've been doing this shit for way too long. I'm gonna say how I really feel." And how I really feel is that if you're wearing a skirt, a man has every right to do whatever he wants. That is
and
fucked
a woman
up.
gets raped and she's wearing shorts, Bobby would let the rapist go free. What a dangerous thought process.
Yeah, the very I mean, he sounded like he really did truly believe what he was saying, though. So I don't think he's being dishonest.
He just believes that men are going to rape a woman because she's in shorts, and that they're justified in doing so. This leads me to so many questions I'd like to ask Bobby on a personal level. For instance, how many women have you sexually assaulted because of their clothing choice, Bobby? That was probably too many words. His brain can't process all that. Let me break it down in simpler terms. How many women have you raped, Bobby? I feel as though the only people that would ever defend a heinous action such as rape would be a rapist. Like, I don't think you have many rape allies. And meanwhile, Bobby Leonard here in front of the entire...
No, I will. There's a lot more people than you would think have this same outlook that this pastor has. There is a lot of people that look at. I've seen some Reddit threads. I've seen just like a lot of. This is a big thing in like the Christian community. This kind of outlook is kind of taken by the Christian community when women aren't like perfectly modest or demure. They just like when they kind of wear what they want, they might show off a little bit more skin. They'll take the side of they deserve to have something happen to them. It's like a haha, I told you so kind of thing. When that's just not the right stance to take, but it is very prevalent in the Christian community. Actually, I'll take that back. It's very prevalent in almost every religion. Especially just old. If you're older, like Muslim, Jewish, Christian, it's really it is kind of like prevalent in. I've just seen it more in like Christianity and stuff, but I'm sure that every religion has its like fair share of that.
Church service takes time to justify that. So that is really alarming shit. I don't know how this plays into Christianity at all. I don't know why he would say any of this during a sermon. I don't know what he expected to happen. Like, I was with my wife the other day looking at girls going in the mall, and they're all wearing shorts and stuff, and you know what? I used to say this, I'm going to say it right now. If a woman's wearing shorts and she gets raped and I'm on the jury, that man's going free. Can I get an amen? Hey, what are these for?
Yeah.
When I was a boy.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's one thing that's accurate in this video, and it's the BS for bullshit.
80 years ago, I was raised in Martinsville, Virginia, partly known Moxfield, North Carolina. You never. Listen, I don't even remember women wearing anything but dresses.
So what, you senile?
Yeah, for God's sake, it's not 1910 anymore. Like, what do you mean? The Titanic sailed and sank. Like, it's like that time is gone. What a moron.
What a woman is wearing, she shouldn't be raped. Rape is bad no matter what. There's no justifying it. You absolute fucking scumbag.
Back then, well, anyway, I don't want you to go home depressed tonight. I'd rather go home encouraged, but I want you to go home wanting to serve God. But
what in tarnation? Who goes to this church? Half of the time he's unintelligible. You can't even understand what he's trying to say. Like, good God. These people are donating to him out of pity. Jeez.
It seems like we've paid no attention to God.
Oh yeah, this is all about God at the end of the day here. Yeah, I'm sure this whole little tangent you're going on is very biblical. You know, the Lord was famous for justifying rape. You know, in fact, it was the 11th commandment that unfortunately Moses just left at the top of the mountain. Thou shalt not rape unless it is a woman wearing shorts. Am I right, Bobby?
Isn't that right? And the Bible says sometime that people think God has delayed his coming, and so as a result of thinking God's delayed his coming, they begin to eat and drink and be drunken. And it seemed like right tonight.
What? God has not becometh of this land because everyone is drunketh. Like, what? I think he's pulling that out of his ass. I'm not gonna lie. I think he took that out of his caboodle and just splurged. That's
If all of our people, everybody.
if that was true, then Christians wouldn't drink beer. They wouldn't drink wine, or like it'd be a sin. Maybe I don't know.
Everybody comes
What?
to our church thought that Jesus was coming Friday night, Saturday morning. You think they'll all be here?
What are you even saying?
What?
Are you overdosing
I'm
on
so
Xanax? What is
confused.
going on? There wasn't
Good
even
God.
a coherent thought in that entire, like, long fucking slurred speech there. That was
Everyone in that building's brain just went smooth trying to comprehend what that man was stringing together. I mean, he went from God has not becometh of this land because thou'th drink too much.
Right? And the Bible says sometime that people think God has delayed his coming, and so as a result of thinking God's delayed his coming, they begin to eat and drink and be drunken. And it seemed like right tonight, if all of our
what are you even saying? Are you drunk? Are you overdosing on Xanax? What is going on? There wasn't even
Because God is a comin', thou art is drunken. If you guys thought that God is coming on Friday night, then y'all would do something. What? I just confused myself. Good God. I feel like my brain's been fucking tied in a knot listening to this mumbo jumbo.
in that entire, like, long fucking
Like, he legitimately said, God is a comin'. Or, I don't know.
slurred speech there. That was actually
God is coming.
nothing. It was a whole bunch of gobbledygook. There was nothing there. They're just letting anyone be a pastor these days, I guess. It's actually super interesting that the only time he's even lucid, like the only time when he's talking that makes any sense, is when he's saying that if he was on the jury and a woman got raped wearing shorts, the man would go free. That's the only thing he actually
That is true. He did not stumble over his words during that little speech.
said, that he didn't
That is
stumble
true.
his way through the statement of saying a man's a man, a man's a man, so he would let the rapist go free. Maybe it's because that's the only thing he truly believes out of everything he was spouting during the sermon. So that's the only thing he was able to deliver with conviction without just like falling and stumbling his way.
Either that or I don't think he's able to just like go off into different trains of thought without like being completely confused into like what he's trying to go into. Yeah.
Through his statements. It's horrifying. What a fucking sickening individual. Now, he did respond to the backlash, basically just apologizing. He said, I am sorry for any hurt. I was wrong.
Well,
So
yes,
extremely-
saying that rape is an acceptable thing when women wear shorts, you're going to get bashed for saying that. Like, it's inherent. It comes with the fucking flow. Like,
concise.
sir, we're in 2024, not 1910. Once again, what? Aren't you like a geriatric? Oh, shouldn't you be in a nursing home? What, like?
I feel as though he's not sorry. He just doesn't like all of the negative attention it's brought to him in the church. Also, apparently the way he apologized was by putting it on their sign out front, so like the fucking billboard. I am sorry for any hurt. I was wrong. Pastor Leonard literally has it like a new McDonald's item that they put on those boards out front of McDonald's. That's where he posted his apology for all of it. Again,
Good God, he's going to start his next sermon, and it's going to be a barren room.
I don't think he's remorseful even slightly. I think that's what he truly believes. He is a piece of shit. That's really about it. So yeah.
Well, Yep, he is certainly a piece of shit that probably shouldn't be preaching in any capacity. He can preach in a nursing home while being taken care of by nurses and being watched 24/7. And then he can spout all of his mumbo jumbo about saying it's okay for women to be raped if they wear shorts. But yeah, he probably shouldn't be allowed to be doing this kind of stuff. And if anyone had like respect for him, they would. I mean, of course, he's an adult, so it would be his decision to step down. But he should definitely step down from his position and let somebody else take the ropes. So yeah.